Managing employee leave might sound simple, but in reality, it often leads to confusion, overlapping leaves, delayed approvals, and payroll issues. In this video, I'll walk you through leave management best practices in Odoo 19, step by step, exactly the way growing companies implement it. By the end of this video, y'all will know how to configure leave policies, set approvals, automate allocations, and manage leave efficiently all in one system. Let's get started. First of all, you have to enable the time off module. You have to make sure that the time off module is already installed. So I've already installed it. If not, you can go and install it from the App Store. Okay, and the leave or the time off will work closely with HR, attendance, and payroll. As you all know, it's integrated. Okay, so inside Odoo 19, so this is the foundation for everything where we are going to configure the next. Okay, so this is the time off, and configuring working time before configuring leave policies is the next step. So we need to define the working hours. So for that, you can go to the employees, directly to the employees. So here we have the employees. And if you choose an employee, it can be anyone, I'm choosing Abigail. So if you go to the employee settings, okay, so here you have this schedule, which is a contract overview. Under the payroll, you can see the schedule and all. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to, make sure, or you have to define the daily working hours, weekly working hours, and if there is any public holidays and all applicable, that should be provided over there. So this step is very important because leave calculation depends on the working time. Okay, so that is the best practice, which is always configure working schedules before touching leave rules. Okay, so you have to make sure the working hours or the working time is specified properly. How many hours per week or per day based on what you are giving. You have to make sure that is specified over there. Okay, so that is done. Then what you have to do? You have to go back to the leave. So let me teach you how to create the leave types. Now you'll have to define different leave types, right? Which is the time off types. Okay, so go to time off, and then on the configuration, you can see the time off types. So open that. And under the time off types, you can see types like the paid time off, the sick time off, the parental leaves, the unpaid ones, and all such things. Okay, so for each leave type, you can choose the validation method. You can decide if allocation is required and all such things. So if you open this is the paid time off, which is already created. Okay, so from here, you can see the duration of the leave type. If it's a paid time off, then how much should be, how we should consider it, whether it's considered as a day, a half day, or an hour, and how to count it, whether as a work time or an absence. Then the HR whom should get notified while such a time off take place. And now if you want other officers, if you want to notify time off to other officers, that can be chosen here. And then you have the time of requests, whether an approval is required, if yes, from whom. That is the other one. Then you can see the allocation request section over here. So you can decide if allocation is required or not. If it's required, then you have to check this. Otherwise, you can simply keep it or put it blank. So you don't have to fill up all the details that have come once you enable this. So if you are enabling this, you have to allow employee to request. You have the approvals, like who should approve this and all such things. Okay, so that has come, and even it should be enabled to carry forward if your policy allows it. Okay, so here comes the negative cap. If checked, users' request can exceed the allocated days and balance can go in negative. So that is the negative cap. If you want that to happen, you can simply check this. Then comes the configuration where you have ignore public holidays, hide on dashboard, require supporting document, eligible for accrual rate. And the display option, what the cover image should be as well as the image. So the best practice here is to keep the leave rules simple, clear, and easy for employees to understand. Okay, so you can make or create one in such a way. So that is the second or the third way of creating it. So I'm just discarding the changes over there. And another best practice that you can do is configure the leave allocation rules instead of allocating leave manually. So let's automate it. So for that, you have to go to the configuration and then you can open the actual plans. You are going to create an accrual plan where you define how often leave is added, how many days are allocated, and when the accrual starts, and the maximum allowed balance. Okay, so you have one which is already created here, which is called as the seniority plan. So let it be. Here you can see when the time is accrued at the start of the period or the end of the period. It can be specified here. If it's based on worked time, then yes or no, that can be configured here. Then you have, do you need a carryover of the accrued days from one year to another? If you want to do that carryover, then you have to enable this. And when do you want the accrued time left to be carried over? So whether it should be added at the end of the year, the start of the year, or the custom date, you can set it. Okay, so I'm putting it at the start of the year itself. Let it be there. And then you have the switch employees to the new actual level, whether it's, I mean, it has to be done immediately or after the current actual period. Okay, so all these things has to be configured under the actual plan that you are going to create. Sorry. Okay, and here you have different milestones as well. So if you want to add a milestone, you can simply click on it. So once an accrual plan is created to the corresponding leave type, and this ensures leaves are allocated automatically. So if you are actually going on at the time of types, you have the paid time off over here. Okay, so this is what, I mean, this is where we have actually did the configuration and all such things. So from the my time off or my allocations, you can actually configure a new allocation or create a new allocation or a new time off. Okay, then as step 5, you can set up the approval hierarchy. So let's configure approvals. For that, you have to open an employee record and make sure a manager is assigned to that particular employee. And if the department is correctly set, this allows Odoo to automatically route leave request to the right approver, which is also considered as a best practice because you can avoid unnecessary approval levels as they slow down the process. So if you go to the employees, here you have the employee. And if you open an employee, you have the different, you have the work, the department. So you have an option to set the manager for this person. So you can see this. For Abigail, we have already set a manager and that will be displayed here in the organization chart. So you have to first specify the department. Okay. And once it's done, the Odoo, once a leave request has been created, Odoo will be directly sending the approval request to the approver. So you don't have to set an approver every time you create a time off. Rather than that, that time off request will directly be sent to the manager that we have set while configuring the employee. So that is another step that you can do while you are doing the time off types or time off creation. And next you have the employee applies leave, and now let's take a look at the employee's experience. So an employee goes to my time off. So let's go back to time off, and here you can see my time off. So if an employee goes to my time off and click on new, okay, so it adds a reason. Here you can add a reason. You can change the time off type. So you've already booked time off with overlaps within this particular period that is given over here. You can change it. Okay, you can change the date to 26 to 27 where there is no overlapping, and then you can add the description which has been provided, then submit the request so the employee can instantly see the available leave balance. So here you can see the summary of your leave. Okay, how many days have been taken, how many days you are going to take this particular leave and all such things. So as you have completed this, you can simply do what? Save it. Okay, and I have already logged in as a manager, and that's the reason why I can see this approve and refuse buttons. Okay, so that's how it works. And the approval status can also be seen. Currently it's in to approve state. If this has been approved, this person can see that the stage have changed to approved. So you can put it back to approval, refuse it, or cancel it. So this transparency reduce follow-ups and confusion. So every employee through their portal can directly get into time off and see how or what the status of their time off is. So like that is what we call as transparency, right? So in this particular module, which is in time off, Odoo is giving 100% transparency for the employees. And next, let's talk about the approval flow, that is manager and HR approval flow once the leave is submitted. Let's talk about it. Okay, the manager receives a notification as soon as a leave request has been created or submitted. That is the time of request. Okay, so he can approve the leave. Like if this is the leave request that the manager has received, I'm putting it back to approval. Okay, he can approve the leave or reject it, or even request clarification. If HR approval is required, then HR reviews and confirms the request. So once approved, the leave is officially recorded in the system and reflects across modules. So from here, we are doing the approval. Once approved, this is considered as approved and it gets reflected. Okay, so you can see the status as approved. The one that we've created right now is approved state. And then you can integrate the leave with attendance and payroll. So it now comes a very important step, which is the integration. So you have to make sure attendance is enabled. You have to go back. We can see whether the attendance is there. Okay, so what we have to do is you have to make sure that the attendance is enabled. Similarly, you have to make sure that payroll is also there. Okay, so I'm activating the attendances. Then payroll should be properly configured and approved leave should reflect in the attendance records. Okay, so be considered during the payroll calculation, and where comes the best practice, which is always run a payroll after configuring leave rules. Okay, because leave and payroll is very much connected, right? Okay, so the attendance has got installed. Let's go and check it. Okay. So here you can see the attendances that we have created right now. Okay. So once the attendance is open, it actually gives you a view. If that person is off on this particular day, then that will be reflected in the attendance. So you can simply change it to month. Okay. So if it's in month, then it will be showing this in such a view. Okay. For every employee, it shows such data. And the attendance can be recorded. Like whenever the check-in and check-out takes place, then the attendance will be taken from here. So you have the management section over here. If you are, logged in as an employee, then you have that. And under the reporting, you can see the time off ledger, where this time off ledger, that is the time off related activities, comes from the time off module. Okay, so that's what I said. You can integrate this leave with the attendance and payroll. Like basically all of this are connected to each other. So that's it. Then you can even monitor the leave using reports. So this HR team should regularly review the leave data. So for that, you can go to the time off. Here's the time off. And from the time off, you can go to the reporting section. So in the reporting, like you can analyze things based on employee type and balance. So leave balances can easily be taken from here, right? So here you have the leave balances. Now it shows the leave balance of each of the employees. See, for Anita, number of days, number of hours which are left. which are already taken for each time of type. It has been displayed here very well based on employee. Okay, so that is the leave balance that you get in the reporting. Then you have the employee wise analysis, okay, based on different months and employees. And then you get the time of type by type, sorry. Okay, the type. And here, if you click on the filters, you have a lot of options like allocations, time off, company, employee. So based on whichever view you require, that can be taken from the reporting section. So that is the time off by type. That's how the reporting section helps to keep track of the time off. Okay, so these insights help in workforce planning and also the policy improvement. Then we have enable notifications and reminders to avoid the approval delays. So for this, you have to enable the notifications. Like, this ensures that managers don't miss approvals, employees receive notification or status updates, and HR doesn't need to follow up manually. So the only key is the communication, and communication keeps the process, that is, good communication keeps the process really smooth. So that is also another thing that you have to keep in mind. And finally, we have the common mistakes that are to be avoided. So manual leave allocation is something you will have to avoid it. Overcomplicated policies, skipping approval rules, ignoring payroll testing, and avoid doing all these things. So this is going to save time and prevents employees' dissatisfaction. Okay, so and that's a complete step-by-step guide to leave management best practices in Odoo 19. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more in-depth Odoo tutorials, let me know in the comments. And if you'd like videos on payroll or attendance or a complete HR module walkthrough, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.